君は殺してでも止めるというか、
もう一つ大きな意味を持つようになったんです。僕はあの子を助けたんです。
No, there we go, all my crying! Oh, that scene has got to me, man. All my is like, oh, Deku! Yeah, oh my god, Deku is like, no, no, no. I'm gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna be a hero. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna save him. He talked the Jutsu down, and Grandma's like, damn it, we're heroes. Yes, he talks her down, like, I like this kid. Yeah. And oh man, all is crying, and it's like, review it, yeah. So of course Deku now then, right? Pushed into Vigilante, but that was the very last moment, right? And as I said, I'm a blind, right? I haven't read the manga, so on. I mean, I have read the manga up to the point we are at, but I haven't read the manga, you know. I read the manga the last season, right? What I do is I read the manga after that, basically. But anyway, so not too surprised then, because I heard about that, been I guess spoiled a little bit. People tweeting about it, alright, with Deku over the years. And I guess they're gonna go out and, you know, take care of business. In the preview, clearly it's gonna fight Muscle, right? I guess so. And there has a mask on, right? Because it doesn't have a hero license and so on, right? But anyway, that's on the ending, right? And Deku leaves. And I also get it, right? Because Deku is like, if I stay here, you know, I'm endangering Urakara and so on, right? You know, because obviously the bad guys will come after me, so I'm gonna stay here and, you know, you all be in danger. I'm gonna go out to be a bad guy instead, kinda ish, right? No, fake pretend, whatever, at least, right? But anyway, the big thing, of course, is somewhat revealing more the truth of his quirk, and yeah, that's a good episode, especially this scene here. That's like kinda teared up a bit when almost started crying inside of him. Yeah, it was an emotional there. It's the All Might, his internal inner soul All Might, right? And it also kind of explained why this guy is, of course, in the lighting. So of course it is All Might himself as a Deku, right? And then how he basically is like, this guy's still alive. You can kind of see him, you know, his soul is so powerful. He's the strongest of us and so on. But interesting too, because they also explained that All Might is the one that had the power the longest, right? Yeah, like they have this, like, every time you get this quirk, you get stronger next time, right? And we're talking about, like, you know, it's harder and harder to kind of keep this quirk going, or yeah, we're getting more and more power, right? And they're like, oh, but this guy, your master, your mentor, All Might, oh, he had it for, he had it the longest, he was super powerful, yeah. And that's also why, you know, for many reasons, All Might's so powerful, right? But also in the sense that, why you kind of half-ass see his soul, and he's allowed out, and it was interesting, yeah, it was emotional. But also that leads into Deku's last point, right? Deku was like, oh, no one else is gonna have to have this burden, right? So I guess in two ways, he wants to finish off the whole one for all and all for one thing. That makes sense, right? You kind of want to end this cycle, so sure. But I guess also that he's just like, oh, this power, you know, blah blah blah. See all that. So I guess he doesn't want anyone else to take his, I mean, the last successor. But this sounds weird to me, though. I mean, honestly, I would be a little critical on Deku there, because the whole idea that he doesn't want to give anyone else the power, right? Because all the burden and so on. I mean, it makes sense, generally speaking. But I still think that he probably won't, though. I don't know, it's weird to me, right? Because even if they've defeated, even if they end the cycle of all for one versus one for all, even if they end that cycle, right, of this back and forth thing they've had for generations now and on, even if they end that, wouldn't you still want to give your power to someone else? Because it's not like there are other bad guys in the world. No, I mean, like, he's gonna let his power go away then, like, not give his quirk to some new upcoming hero. Wouldn't he be like, hey guy, you can take my powers and fight this other bad guys over there? Yeah, like, there are probably more bad guys coming after that bad guy. It's a little bit like that, yeah. But sure, to some extent, it would be interesting if he actually refuses to give someone his power, even after the whole storyline's over, even after they beat all the bad guys. He'd be like, no, my power is too powerful and no one should have it. Because in a way, though, his quirk comes back to this, like, you know, the quirk singularity, right? We talked about in previous seasons, where you're like, oh, someone is going to have too powerful quirk and it's going to destroy the planet or whatever, yeah. So in a way, it's like, yeah, this quirk is stronger and stronger every time, so eventually it will lead into that, like, the quirk is so powerful that like for Deku that we couldn't have used the power at, you know, his body. So yeah. So the next person's gonna be, I mean, definitely, right? The next person after Deku will have even more issues with the powers in the beginning, right? And the physical strain and so on, etc. But anyway, yeah, we've seen a bit of the personalities. And obviously Deku is really heavily inspired by Spider-Man, though, right? Clearly, because John Diamond is like, oh, I got the spider sense. He like straight up has the spider sense. Yeah, he's like, I can feel, you know, when attacks are coming at me, right? It's like Spider-Man. I can sense them, you know, when they're yeah, he got the sense power, 100%. And of course, the other guy got the web swing. He can shoot freaking web strikes. So I can't be the only guy thinking that Deku is heavily inspired by Spider-Man. Of course, Michael Levy has a lot of, you know, Marvel and DC Comics references, right, and powers and a lot of similarities, like freaking Batman and Robin. Hawks and Batman is running around in the straight up Batmobile, so it's not like, you know, other Western comic references, so to speak, or homages. But I mean, Deku now, yeah, he got two guys giving him two different Spider-Man powers, right? So it's like, yeah, that's pretty straightforward to me. Absolutely. What more happened? Well, yeah, Grandma is pragmatic, I guess. Yeah, Grandma is just like.
バカ野郎。
ヴィランが狙ってる。
なんなんだよ。
継承者としてこのヒーローになるための最後の
Deku goes vigilante, right? I think it's an interesting scene because, especially given the thought of Grandma, right? Because he just told Grandma he was gonna kill everyone, yet he also leads schools to be more of a badass, you know, bad boy hero. So it be more, you know, violent, whatever, right? So it's a little bit like, okay, I won't kill anyone, but I'm gonna hurt them. And of course, the rest of them are crying and so on. Deku's abandoning them, right, for their own safety. Grandma admits that it's her grandson, right? And it's like, oh, it's my grandson, it's a terrible grandma. More so, terrible mother, I guess, arguably. But, yeah, I mean, you can definitely make that case, though, right? She kinda, I wouldn't say abandoned her son, but she was like, I'm gonna, you know, give away my son because it's dangerous to be my son and so on, right? That being said, that she died of, yeah, I don't know, yeah. I don't know, you can argue for it. It's more that her son really hate heroes, right? Yeah, which is so son. I mean, to a little bit it's her fault, but you can't really blame her that much for it. Now, her son was kind of like, yeah, a little way too much. And arguably not just his own son, but I mean, just his hatred for heroes was kind of like not overly motivated by her, I wouldn't say. Nah, he had his own issues, definitely. But still, though, to some extent, it's a little bit of her fault, of course, to some extent. But anyway, yeah, she kind of basically tells Deku that, oh yeah, well, what if you just kill him, right? yeah, like a grandma just like come in and like, what if you just, you know, I'm his grandma, but I give you permission to end him. It's like, what? It's like, well, yeah. Well, like I said, this scene was emotional when Deku was like talking her down a bit, like, no, I'm a hero, yeah, I'm a hero. All Might inspired me, and then we see all the, you know, we see Small Might, and we see Small Shigaraki and so on. But I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of on Grandma's side a little bit, right? Because it's kind of like, oh, this guy just kind of Godzilla half the city here and so on. They went with this huge guy, blah blah, and Deku is like, no, I'm gonna talk him down to it. It does feel very, you know, shonen tropey, right? How she's basically like, we probably have to end him, right? That's like the only solution to this. Kill them both. Kill Shigaraki and kill. Yeah, deal with it, you know. And Deku again turns into arguably very narrow to right, you know, whatever. All the short time is very much like, no, I'm the hero. I'm gonna redeem him. I'm gonna do this thing, right? Which feels like, I mean, can you talk to that guy? He's like insane, probably not, right? I mean, I hope Deku can't, right? Honestly, I feel it's a bit tropey if Deku is just like, no, I'm gonna go there and talk to him. We already tried it like several times, right? So. I don't know. But I guess Deku might capture him, I suppose. Yeah, I might just capture him, right? But still, though, I kind of liked it that she was like, no, this is the only way to do it. Yeah, she was like, screw this shonen anime. We're going seinen now, right? We're gonna go seinen. We're gonna finish it off. Yeah, we're gonna just like take care of business. And Deku is like, never. But that still turned into a good scene. I don't know. It's a little bit. I'm a little torn on it, right? I also wish kind of Deku was just like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go out there and just like take care of it. I'm gonna turn into an assassin and just use my powers to end all the bad guys immediately. But then he kind of turned it that way. That the episode's a little torn there because then it becomes Vigilante Deku, and has this like, you know, I'm a badass guy now, and he kind of turns into that a little more darker Deku in the end anyway. But on the scene, he's kind of makes a classic, you know, talk to Jutsu. Oh no, violence is wrong to her, right? So it's a little bit. He's kind of half-assing it. Yeah, he's kind of going back what he told her immediately to some extent, right? It's a little bit like what doing. Well, anyway, that's what you guys think. Please subscribe, slap us all right. And yeah, of course today it is Saturday, so we get all the animes coming, right? Of course we got My Guitar and so on, yeah, promo for Emblem later tonight. And we got no Nier anymore, of course, unfortunately. Vash, my and so on. So you guys have a great day.